What's going on today? It's your host, Zach Schumaker, and today I'm being joined by the very first commit in Indiana's 2023 recruiting class. He's a 6'4" combo guard coming out of Georgia and was one of the biggest stock rising players of the summer. He headed into this AAU season as an unranked player playing with Atlanta Xpress. Now, fast forward to today, he's a 4-star recruit and a top 40 player in the class of 2023. He's now also heading into his third year of high school playing at Newton High and is looking to solidify himself as not just one of the top players in the state of Georgia, but the entire country. He has also now become the 24th highest ranked player to ever commit to Indiana, and that's Jakai Newton. You just made your announcement now. You're heading to Indiana, and you're one of the first guys in 2023 to commit now. Take us to how you're feeling right now.
Man, I'm feeling great, honestly. It hit me, but it ain't really hit me yet. I'm still excited. So.
Now that I just mentioned, you are pretty young. Like there's been a few guys. We see Caleb Glenn, Caleb Foster, a couple of different guys have announced a commitment in your class, but you still are one of the first guys to do it. So take us to this decision. Like why now? Why do you feel like right now you're comfortable committing, even though there's still a few more years out from college?
I mean, I didn't plan on committing before the visit. The visit definitely changed a lot. But it really just came out of like Indiana was always at the top of my list, but the visit kind of like put like the icing on the cake for it.
And you've gone on a few different visits, so let's kind of go through those a little bit first. Then we'll talk about the one that ultimately sold you at Indiana. So a couple of them. One is the homeschool team, Georgia. I know you took that visit a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago now. Take us to that, like when you first got to go on that visit, start meeting coaches, seeing Coach Korean, seeing a Division I high major program. What was that visit like for you?
And that being my first visit, it was like crazy just seeing that stuff up close, like seeing the field, seeing the facilities and everything they use, the technology, the money they got. So it was definitely a good experience for me.
Now, as you mentioned, the Indiana visit's the one that sold you. So how was the Indiana visit able to land you? Like, what was so special with that visit? And how much different was it than the Georgia one that ultimately made you leave saying, okay, this is where I want to go play at?
I mean, first, like at Indiana, I was on the visit by myself. So I got to talk to the coaches one-on-one and like build those relationships. And like they treated my family like family. So like that was a big thing for me. Talking to Coach Woodson, like he didn't just talk about basketball, he talked about life outside of basketball, like managing money and all that other stuff, which is very important to me and my family. So
let's go step to step by that visit. So you obviously flying out there, you go to Indiana. Take us to the visit. Like each day, what's some of the stuff you did? Who greeted you at the airport? Like take us just through the whole course of that weekend visit. Like take us through everything that happened and just how special that was for you.
Man, they got a chauffeur come to the house, come pick us up, take us to the airport. Got on the plane. When somebody came and picked us up, they took us to our hotel. Coach Ya, he's also a big part of why I chose to come to Indiana. He was out there waiting, and I got to meet Coach too for the first time, I think. And so we settled in, and then we all went to go eat with all the coaches, Coach Woodson, Coach Walsh, Coach Fife. Like all the coaches was there. We got to just talk to him, talk about like just life and stuff like that, which was definitely cool. And like getting to see how Coach Woodson was as a person. And the next day, what did I do? Really just got to see like the facilities and all that. Got to watch a practice, I think. And the next day we went to the football game and got to see a little bit of a workout again. And I got to talk to Coach Woodson like one-on-one. And he showed me like what he see me doing at Indiana. So, that's pretty much it.
Coach Woodson's going to become your head coach now. So he obviously had to make a big impact on you and you always had to form a great relationship with him. So take us to that a little bit. Like how did that grow from the point you first started talking to him a few months ago now to this point today? Like how close are you guys now? And just how have you seen it grow over the past few months?
And I think Coach Woodson only had texted me one time. They were still recruiting at 20 class. But as soon as we got to Indiana and just getting to talk to him for like the first 20 minutes, like I didn't know what to expect, but like, man, like, he's so humble and like he's honest. Like he didn't sell me no lies or what he was promising me when I come here. Nothing. He was just straight up and real genuine dude.
So at what point did you start feeling like I might actually want to come play here now. Because like you said, you weren't anticipating committing there before you got there. So at what point during the visit did you start feeling like, I might feel like I'm ready to commit now? Like I start feeling like this might just be the place I want to go play at.
I told my dad while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that third day, I told him. And he was like, whoa, like, so yeah, we went home, talked about it, and yeah.
So then when you did finally come to your family, you said, okay, this is where I do want to go. This is the right place. Then you obviously had to make your call and eventually tell Coach Woodson and the staff. So take us to that time. Like, what was their reaction and how did you tell them that you're going to be going to Indiana?
And it was exciting. I actually called Coach Yacht because I wanted Coach Yacht to be the first to know before everybody. So I called him, was it a Tuesday or Monday? Or maybe the Sunday night. I'm not sure, but I called him and I let him know. I'm like, Coach, I'm ready. And he was going crazy. And he kept it on the low for me and told Coach the next day. And he said, like, Coach was real excited. And then I got on a Zoom call with them, with everybody the next day, and announced it on the Zoom call to all the coaches and all, and they was just like celebrating me. Just talk about it. So
Now, if we go back a little bit deeper into Coach Woodson, he is a unique situation because he obviously, we see sometimes, obviously, there's Coach Foyberg out there in Nebraska, there's a few other coaches that have had successful-ish runs in the NBA. He obviously has coached the New York Knicks. Like, that's not something we see too many coaches get opportunity to do. Like, he's been around the likes of Carmelo Anthony, Mark Stoudemire. Like, he's been around some of the guys that this generation really looks up to. So how big was that for you? Just be able to hear the stories, hear his relationships, hear how he's coached those guys. Like, how big was that for you?
man, it was real big for me. Like just knowing like the opportunities that's there. Like he's coached like great players, and he knows he knows what he's doing. So just knowing that somebody who will be coaching me it's a good feeling.
In terms of his coaching style, obviously we haven't seen him for a couple of years coaching at a head coaching job, let alone college now. What does he want from you? Like, how does he plan to coach you? What does he want from you when you get out there? And just what's his kind of coaching plans for you when you do get out there eventually?
Yeah, he told me he don't like robotic players. He want me to go out there, create for myself, create for my teammates, and just play hard, play defense. He said I'll be fine. He said I fit perfectly into that system. So,
Let's go through this recruiting process a little bit more if we backtrack. So you came down, obviously, you have your final three. You come out with Georgia, the hometown team, obviously Indiana, and then you had in Vanderbilt there as well. What kind of led you to those three schools? Like, why are those the three programs that you felt like were the top three for you?
Well, Georgia, I don't like traveling a lot. Like I like being home. So Georgia, as being the closest school, that was like definitely a big thing for me. And then Tom Crean had a lot of great players too. He's a great coach. So
yeah,
I was definitely on the top of my list too. And Vanderbilt, the experience they got there with Coach Stackhouse and Coach Curry was recruiting me. It's a lot of experience there. And I think they got something good that's going to happen. So.
You mentioned something that's kind of key there. You said you'd like staying close to home. You don't really like traveling much. So how are you going to adjust to that then? Obviously, you're going to be not too close to Georgia. Obviously, it's still, parents can probably still fly out there. It's not like opposite sides of the country, but it's not too close either. So how do you plan to kind of be able to adjust to being far away from family and far away from Georgia?
I mean, I guess it's just something I'm at to just adjust to because, I mean, to be honest, I honestly don't know. Like, but I kind of do want to see something else, like see something new and just be around a different environment. So I think this will help me do that.
Absolutely. Well, we had all the way back though. You guys, we talked about, you are from Georgia, that's where you're born and raised. Take us to that there. Like, what's it been like growing up out there?
And I mean, it's chill. Like, we got our course over here. Like, we got stuff to do over here, but it's real chill. And I always been playing basketball since I was a little kid. So I knew this is something I've been wanting to do. Yeah, just the fact it's finally happening. It's a big deal for me.
That's key because on the basketball aspect in Georgia, it's obviously one of the top states in the country. I think they get really underrated. Obviously, we talk about the Californias and the Texases and the New York, South New Jersey area, and those obviously have been around for a long time. But this next upcoming generation of talent, obviously Anthony Edwards is probably the lead guy right now, but we see Scoop, we see yourself, we see Jabari and Matt. Like seeing this whole new generation of basketball in Georgia, what's been like growing up on that aspect, just being around that much talent in basketball out there?
It's in my opinion, I think we got the best hoopers. So and I've been playing against a lot of these same dudes since I was little kids. So like we've been playing against each other for a long time. And, just competing against them has been helping my game out a lot, and just seeing how they play. I've been trying to learn things and put it in my game. So
there's one unique thing I always notice. I think you see it, every kind of state has a different type of players that kind of come out of there. And some of them have different dog mentalities, and you guys kind of have that physical mentality. Obviously, it's almost more like a football in a sense where you guys like playing physically. You guys like the contact. You guys like going through people. Take us to that because you're kind of the definition. Like I just mentioned, Anthony Edwards, obviously, we know him for that now. You do it. Scoot's done that. Bruce. I mean, the list goes on. So walk us through that aspect. Like, how have you grown into kind of soaking in the entire Georgia dog mentality into you?
Man, I mean, I always been an underdog. I was never like known like that, or people never considered me at the top or nothing like that. But I think just being tough. I think a little bit comes from me playing football. I played football for like maybe 8-9 years, and I played linebacker, so I guess that just comes from football. Just being an underdog, it just put a chip on my shoulder.
So if someone would have told you 3, 4 years ago, like before you got into high school, that you're eventually going to become a top ranked player, a top 50 player, 4-star, have a chance to choose from all these different schools, could you have seen it? Like, was that something that you were just dreaming of at that point, or could you have actually seen it happening for yourself?
Man, 4 years ago, I was in a completely different spot. Uh, Man, I could see it, but I don't know if I would have believed it. Yeah, I put in a lot of hard work, and it's been a lot of like ups and downs through this process. So it's been a lot.
You mentioned the football aspect. So when did you kind of create that switch? Like when did you start feeling like, okay, basketball is the sport I actually want to pursue? Like this is the thing I really want to invest all my time in and go fully pursue now.
It was my last game in 8th grade. I got hit so hard, I knew it was be done with football. Like that was my last game. I said that like after that game, I'm never playing football again. But I kind of like missing it kind of right now. But so I ain't playing football. I don't know. That's out the window.
Now, that is something obviously like you said. I mean, you have the body to be able to do that. We know you're physical, you're obviously athletic, and basketball players do translate pretty easily to football players. So have you ever like seriously thought about it? Like have you ever thought like maybe I'll go give it a chance one more time in high school, possibly even college level someday, maybe?
Yeah. If I didn't commit so early, I would probably go play football. And I think I could dominate in football. Yeah. I don't feel like nobody can guard me if I'm at receiver. So yeah.
Now, when you have embraced this game now, it obviously still didn't just come to you right away, like you said. It took a long time to develop over. And you originally started off your freshman year at the same school you're at still today, Noon. And we know them as a dominant program. They have a lot of top ranked guys come out of there. Right before you got there, obviously, Ashton Hagans, you could have played with him a year. Obviously, he reclassed up that year to go play at Kentucky. Ty Harper's been from out there, a lot of different guys. So take us a decision. Like, why was Noon High the school you want to go play at?
I mean, really? Just because I live like 2 minutes from Newton. Like I've been watching them games. I've watched Ashton, Isaiah Miller, JD, Tyrese. I watched them since I was a little kid. So like I definitely want to play there. That's definitely somewhere I want to play.
When you were out there, I mean, obviously you didn't necessarily get to play with guys like Ashton at that time, but have you been able to work out with those guys? Like, and how big was it for you to be able to look up to guys that have made it to where you want to be? A guy that's made it to Kentucky, guy shot the NBA, been around these different guys. Like, how big was that for you and your development as a player now?
It meant a lot. It just showed me that it's possible, especially being like in the same gym as NBA players. Like, and it's 2 minutes away from my house. It just showed me that it's possible. So.
And you guys have decided to kind of form this big three now. Obviously, we know yourself. We've been talking about you for a little bit. We know Stephon, he's obviously a big time player, another top 50 type guy. And Marcavius as well. He's a guy that's coming up now. He's also top 100, I think, on Rivals, but he's got a lot of big time offers. So take us through your guys' big three. Like, how does that kind of start forming? Have you guys always known each other? Did it start your freshman years? Like, how did you guys put this all together?
Yeah, first off, I just want to say, like, we definitely got more than three. We got AP, we got MJ, we got Mio, we got Dale, we got Miles, Bez. Our team, we're gonna be straight. But as far as us three, I've been playing against Quay since middle school. Me and Steph like a brother to me, so I've known Steph. So we always played together. But I've been playing against Quay since around middle school, and I used to hate Quay because he was on Liberty. He used to dunk all the time against us. Like I never liked Quay until we got to high school, and then we started being cool and all that. But yeah.
So take us to that freshman year then a little bit. Like you guys all did get together, and you guys had obviously TJ at the time too. We went to OTA now, but walk us through that freshman year for yourself. Like how did you develop as a player? How did you grow as a player that year? And just kind of walk us through your freshman year of high school.
Man, that freshman year was hard. I'm younger than most people in my class, so I was 14 at the time. And I had surgery on my foot, so I missed like most of the season. So coming back, coach wanted me to play JV a little bit just to get the feeling of it. And I played my first high school game, I think, like December, January. It was like the speed it was completely different. The physicality was just, I was so nervous to get in the games, but getting to play with some older guys who was more experienced, it taught me a lot. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that year, but it was tough.
Yeah, that's something that's also I was going to touch up on because you being a younger player, not a lot of people realize that. And in today's game, nothing against those other guys too, but we see a lot of the holdback guys. We see a lot of guys that are 1, 2 years, maybe even older than you now that's playing in your same class, 2023. And there's not too many guys that are truly of age that are even younger than their age too. So how are you taking that in? Because I'm sure that even when you got hurt or something, like the possibility of reclassing probably crossed your mind at some point because you see so many other guys doing it. What's allowed you to kind of stay focused in on your class and still knowing that, okay, I'm going to push through whatever God's got in store for him, I'm going to keep rocking out with that and just kind of going through this path?
I joke around. We joke around about it, but I never reclass. At the end of the day, if I make it to the league, I'll be playing dudes who might be 10 years older than me. If I go like at college, I'll be playing dudes who might be 4 years older than me. So at the end of the day, it's just something face. So I don't even worry about it.
Now, has that ever been challenging for you? Like in terms of just being a lot younger, like how have you dealt with that being out there and when you're playing age group? Because especially when you go to like circuit levels and you are 16 years old, you're playing guys that might be 18, 19. How have you learned to develop that? And has it ever kind of made you motivate saying, okay, I can play with these guys that are multiple years older than me? Like, how have you taken that part in?
I mean, I played up as a little kid. I always played up football. What was in the football? Basketball, I always played up. So I'm always been used to playing against the older guys. And since I'm younger, I'm always used to playing against people who are older than me. So it's just been natural. I'm used to people being older than me. But I think my body has like caught up a little bit where I can hang with those guys. So yeah, the weight room, it really don't help a lot.
So we head into last season then, and you guys had a pretty solid overall season. Once again, it was kind of the main group that we started been talking about. Take us to that sophomore year now, because you start getting settled in, you finally get to play this year. What was that sophomore year like for you?
Sophomore year was it was kind of tough too. I got hurt early and I was playing through some injuries. Kind of made it a lot harder for me to play. But it was definitely a tough season. Came up a little bit short. I think I missed the last couple of games. Then I had to go to a funeral. It was just a lot was going on with COVID, especially with COVID too. It was just it was an awkward year. So I'm definitely ready to get back to this year and fans in the crowd and all that.
So after that point came in, obviously you still weren't too high recruit at that point. You weren't having a name on the rankings yet either. Then you see yourself today, and that was only like what 6, 7, 8 months ago now. How crazy has it been just like looking at how far you've come now in the past 8 months to now being committed to Indiana in just this short span?
And I was fighting a lot of things mentally. Once the season ended, I made some goals for myself, had a long talk with my parents, very long talk. And I told myself like I'm really gonna take this thing serious and work hard at it. And then a couple months later, all my offers started coming in. So it was really a blessing.
What would you say switched for yourself? Was it just that you already all of a sudden had a big growth mentally as talent as well? Was it just that you got 100% healthy? Was it just like what kind of clicked for you? Like what switched over the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months now that's really turned you into finally getting the spotlight, finally getting the ability? Or was it even just maybe you getting a spotlight for the first time?
I would say kind of being healthy, even though I was hurt for like most of the AAU season. I was playing on the fractured foot, but I was healthy at the beginning. Mentally, a lot changed mentally for me because I had a lot trying to figure out stuff like that. But yeah, mentally was probably the biggest thing.
And we were kind of talking a little bit about faith before we started this interview, and we'll kind of touch upon the end of it too. But how big has God been for you just kind of getting through this whole story, like going through the multiple injuries you've gone through, going through the ups and downs of just being an athlete too? Like, how have you been able to rely on him throughout this whole journey?
Man, I don't pray as much as I probably need to, but I definitely pray, and I'm very grateful for everything I get, every opportunity I get. I just feel like if I do everything I'm supposed to do, everything's gonna take care of itself. So I feel like God's gonna handle all that.
Amen, man. Well, you have 2 more years left of high school now. Hopefully you can stay healthy. But the big thing that a lot of guys always look at, committing, recruiting process is always hectic for guys the final year. That's out of the way for you. So pretty much you just have 2 years left of high school. What do you want to get done now? Like, what would be a dream scenario for you to be able to end up the next 2 years? What's everything you want to get accomplished, achieve, get done? Like, just take us through what would be a dream ending to your high school career.
Yeah, it's been a big relief commitment. So now it's just time to get to work. As far as this next 2 years, I want to win 2 back-to-back state chips. I want to get ranked top 20 on everything. Um, um, that's pretty much it. I just want to be ready for it when I get to college. So, yeah.
In terms of your game, what's a couple of different things you say, or maybe one thing specifically that you want to improve on over the next 2 years that you're ready for Indiana?
I want to be more of a playmaker. That's probably one of the biggest things. And I want to be able to extend my range more, like shooting them deep threes and get ready for shooting at the college level.
Absolutely. Well, if we go into your AAU season a little bit deeper, you guys obviously had a pretty successful year. You blew up, as we've already talked about a few different times, but take us through the ups and downs of your AAU season playing with Atlanta Xpress. Just what was that like?
Man, it was crazy. Our first tournament, we almost didn't win a game. Like, you know, how me, Steph, Quay, MJ, we were all on the same team. We almost didn't even win a game our first tournament. So we definitely built a lot of chemistry together. And man, like it was just a lot. Once we figured out how to play together, figured that out, it was pretty much like we was just rolling through people. And, but it was hard though. It was definitely hard. Like some weekends we played like 8 games. Like it was just a lot. Like it was definitely a lot. But it was very fun too. Like I love playing AAU. So it was real fun. And getting to play with my high school teammates made it even better.
Absolutely. Well, let's head back into Indiana stuff to wrap this up now. So obviously the big thing is that you are the very first commit in 2023, and obviously there's going to be more spots to fill. There's going to be guys that Indiana's recruiting still. So take us to this 2023 class. Like who's some other guys you guys are targeting? Who's someone that you maybe even want to go start targeting, try bringing with you to Indiana? Like what are some of the guys that Coach Woodson wants you recruiting now in 2023?
Well, I'm still early to it. I'm gonna get with Coach Yada to figure out some more stuff like that. But I've definitely been talking to Dave Cups. It would be nice to play with him. I see how he plays. He plays real hard, plays with aggression, and he can definitely shoot the ball. So I think it'd be a very good fit. And really, I ain't got too much on that yet. I really got to talk to Coach and like see what's up. But I definitely gonna get into that.
In terms of your fit personally, we look at some of the guys in front of you right now. Obviously, Christian Lander is technically a freshman, sophomore, depending on how you look at it with the eligibility stuff. He might still be out there when you get out there. And then the big one, obviously, Tamar Bates. He's a 5-star and a good odds, obviously, if you do stay 2 more years in high school, you probably will be going to the NBA. I think he's either 1 done or 2 years. But walk us through that fit. Like, if you do get a chance to possibly play with a Christian Lander, Tamar Bates, and Jalen Huscafino, too, obviously, out there, what would that be like for you?
I think they'd be able to teach me a lot. Like I could learn a lot from their game. And, I think they can make me better players. So I'd definitely be looking forward to that.
When you do step foot on campus, get to Indiana, what would you bring to this team and just kind of summarize everything that Jakai Newton's bringing to the program and to the campus?
I can't wait to build a relationship with the fans. I think they're very cool. Like they're very supportive and all that. I love IU fans already. But I want to bring a lot of energy, like a lot of energy. Be a guy who can make plays and make the right plays for the team. And, yeah, that's it.
Now, you also are the 24th now highest ranked commit in program history, and there's a lot of great all-time Indiana players. So what does that mean to you to know that you now have your name alongside some of the great all-time Hoosiers? What does that mean to you?
Well, you said I'm the what?
You're the 24th highest ranked commit in program history now.
Wow. That's my first time hearing that. What would you see it on?
Well, they haven't officially made it yet because you haven't officially committed to put it in yet. But once you do commit, it's going to go in there.
Oh wow. I mean, I don't really care about like rankings too much. I think that's a big thing. Wow, it's my first time hearing that. Super excited. That's all I can say.
Now, for you personally, that obviously has, in a sense, pressure from the outside at least. Like people expect you, people will be hyped up. They know you're a talented player. You know that people kind of expect you to be a big time player when you get out there. So, how do you kind of play into that? Is that pressure on you? How do you kind of take that in, and how do you kind of think you're going to adjust that when you do get on campus?
I definitely think it's a little bit of pressure because I am expected to produce, but I feel like if I'm working hard, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm doing all the little things, I feel like the basketball part is just take care of itself.
Absolutely, man. Now, we also noted that the NIL has come into play now. Was that any factor in your recruiting process? Like, did Coach Woodson talk about that at all? And if so, like, take us to the NIL pitch that Indiana had for you.
We talked about it just briefly, but Coach Woody being who he is, like everybody he knows, if he wanted to, he could call Michael Jordan right now. Like just the opportunity with him, it's just crazy. I think a player on the team already on real estate, so like just the stuff that he got some guys doing. I think opportunities is like crazy.
And one aspect about that is that you guys can now sell your jerseys. Obviously, you're gonna have to get your jersey out there in a couple of years, but is there a dream number? Like if you could go pick one number to rock out with at Indiana, what number do you want to rock out with there?
0. That's my favorite number. Look, I mean, you probably can't see too much around my room, but it's a 0 back. 0 right now. 2 zeros on the wall right there. Westbrook, my favorite player, so I'm always wearing 0.
That very first game, when you get to go out there and you see one of the best fan bases out there, like what's going to go through your mind your first game out there, you think?
Man, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. I mean, it's going to be a dream true, but man, I can't wait for that, honestly, to be honest. I just want to see it all for myself, like getting that experience. Man, it's going to be crazy. I'm already knowing.
I'm not sure you've talked about it with your family or you even thought about it, but we do know that obviously some guys do reclass up at different points. Even though you are younger, we saw a guy like Christian Lana do that. So is this something we could possibly see? Like, would you be interested in that if there's an opportunity? Have you guys maybe even talked about possibly reclassing into 2022 so you can get out there a year earlier?
I mean, I probably wouldn't do that. If I did that, I'd be going to college, and I'd just be turning 17. So I probably wouldn't do that. And I still got a lot of things I want to work on. So I probably won't be doing that.
Absolutely, man. Well, a couple more things before I let you go. One thing I was like wrapping up discussing is building a legacy for yourself. And I know that all guys want to remember for something. So when you do get out to Indiana eventually, and we know that's your next chapter after high school, what do you want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court throughout your Indiana career?
I want to be known as like a good person, like somebody who was like always helping people and like always nice to people and just trying to do the right thing. That's off the court. And on the court, I just want to be known as like a dog, somebody who played with like aggression, who was like just like made plays and is like a player who wins. So yeah.
We touched up on your faith a little bit, but to wrap up kind of discussing that, what would you say is the biggest moment that you've seen God show up in your life so far?
And really, just like what I was going through mentally at the time, it was a lot, like really a lot. Like I didn't know if none of this stuff that was going to be happening now was going to be happening. So, man, just to like talk about God and pray about it and then making goals and then everything happening like how it is now, it's really just a blessing. I can't even really put it into words. So.
And now as you get a larger and larger platform, obviously there's going to be more and more chance to possibly spread his light. So how do you kind of plan to be a light into the world throughout your rest of your high school career and then college and possibly even NBA career after that?
I just want to send out a positive, like just send out positive messages. Like I don't feel like you're ever too big to be nice to people, treat people right. So yeah, I feel like people definitely know that when they talk to me.
No doubt, man. Well, my final thing for you, give Indiana fans your 3 biggest goals you have set for your Indiana career.
Indiana career. Definitely win a championship. Get my jersey retired. I can't think of a third one. That's 2 I got right.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on the commitment once again, man. I'm excited to see what God got next for you and appreciate taking time to come on today.
Thank you.
Of course, man. You always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless.